It seems as if our brain always wants problems. It's always searching for problems. It's always searching for things to complain about, to worry about, to stress about. I don't know why. I don't know why this happens. I don't know why we were created this way, but I made some videos on not stressing about the future, not stressing about uncertainty, being grateful in the present moment. So, although I know all of this, right, and I do apply it to my life, I want to be able to relate to you guys also, because you guys might be seeing these videos and think I'm like some sort of Zen master, which I am not. Which I am not. I just know these things and I do consciously apply them. But I want you guys to know that even though I know these things, I still get negative thoughts from time to time. My brain still wants to stress from time to time, but it's just about how you handle it, how you respond to these thoughts, how you are able to detach from your thoughts. That is what that's what becoming healthily mentally is reacting to those, or not react, sometimes reacting and choosing not to react to those thoughts. So I make this video because right now the YouTube's going good, but like I said, my brain always wants to find problems. So now what my brain is trying to latch onto is the amount of views I get, the amount of subscribers I have, how fast it takes to reach a certain number amount of views, how many views this video is going to get compared to the last video. There are these thoughts that I hear that so badly want to compare. I hear them. I'm aware of them. They say, "Wow, why aren't you getting this amount of views? Why can this person post and get all these views and you're not?" I hear these thoughts, but I consciously try my best to not entertain those thoughts. I take those thoughts with a grain of salt. Like I said, I don't attach to them. I made that video, "You Are Not Your Thoughts." Go watch that. I explain to you why you are not your thoughts. And if I didn't know that, I would be so heavily attached to this thought of why am I not getting views like the person, like someone else on YouTube? Why don't I get the amount of likes? Why don't my videos blow up? But now that I'm able to detach from my thoughts, it gets a little easier. But even though I know all this, it is not like I'm some sort of Zen master where I don't have any bad thoughts. It's not like in my brain it's la la land perfect. There's still sometimes I hear, there's a difference. I'm hearing them, but I'm not believing them. I'm not interacting them. I hear the doubtful thoughts, the fearful thoughts, the comparison, the just the overthinking. Everything that's not really conducive to where I want to go. Thoughts that are not productive. Thoughts that will just drain my energy. I hear them, but I choose not to entertain them. I want to show you guys that we can control our minds. We are in control. The analogy I like using, imagine you're walking your dog, right? And in this analogy, your thoughts and your mind is the dog. And you, the owner, the person walking the dog, you're the observer. If you have a dog that's untrained, it's uncontrollable. And now, as the owner, because you have not taken time to train this dog, to train your mind, to get to know yourself, to teach yourself right from wrong in your mind's gonna go everywhere. Your untrained dog, is gonna go everywhere. It's gonna run after everything. If there's a car, it's gonna bark at it. If there's people, it's gonna try to run at it, and it makes your walk so much more tiring because you have this untrained dog. And just in life, when you have an untrained mind, life becomes so much more tiring. It becomes anxiety filled, fear filled. You overthink so much because your mind is running everywhere, and you, the observer, the one with the leash on the dog, doesn't know how to control it because you haven't spent time with it. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe right now you got a wild dog. You can't control your dog. You can't control your mind. But watch my past videos. I talk about this. Well, watch some of my past videos and apply what I'm saying to your life, and eventually that dog will calm down more and more. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But even then, I don't want you guys to think that your brain's going to be la la land. That you're never going to have a negative thought, that every day is going to be joyful and sunshines and rainbows, peaches and Creamville, you know? It's not going to be like that. But you just handle everything a lot better. Things go a lot more smoother. You know, so I just want to get on and, relate to you guys, because my brain is so badly wanting to compare. And another thing that's kind of taught me, or something that's kind of shown me once again, is that we often think about our future. We think, oh, when we get this job, we're going to be so happy. When we get a girlfriend, when we get a boyfriend, we're going to be so happy. We're going to love ourselves once we get another person. We look at the future in rose-tinted lenses. When in reality, it's just not like that. Obviously, you do want to look into the future. You want to visualize. You want to think of the person you want to become. You want to have a plan for the future, right? But thinking about the future to cope with your present moment, to distract you from your present moment, is unhealthy. Sure, I might make a whole video on that. I just thought about that. That's a banger idea. But anyways, thinking about the future to cope with your present, to help you avoid your present, is not the way to go. Because you can never master the present moment. No matter how much you think into the future, it cannot change this exact present moment. So that's why I say, never romanticize about the future. Never think about the future to compare it to your present moment, how much better the future is going to be. Because in reality, there's going to be more problems. More money, more problems. You got a girlfriend, you got a boyfriend, well, you're going to have to work out some problems with them. Like back then, I would be like, having a YouTube would be so cool. Having subscribers, having viewers, having likes, talking to people, maybe helping people out. And it is. I really like it. But back then, I definitely would have thought of it as just this perfect thing where there's no friction, no doubtful thoughts, no nothing. When in reality, now that I'm here, I'm extremely grateful. But I hear those thoughts of trying to compare. I hear the thoughts of stressing about, am I smart enough to even do this? Do I even know enough to do this? The thoughts that, what if my voice sounds weird? What if I sound dumb? What if I'm not getting my message across? I hear those thoughts. And when we think into the future about how we have all these things and how our life has changed, we often ignore that our brain is always going to have those negative thoughts. They don't have to control you. I don't let them control me. But those thoughts are still there. And when we look into the future with those rose-tinted lenses, it blocks out all of that negativity, which in turn makes the present moment feel even worse. Because when we have these negative thoughts in the present moment, it just makes things feel way worse. So that's what I gotta say today. Remember, always be present. There's always something to be grateful for. Think into the future. Visualize. Do what you gotta do. But like I said, do not think about the future to cope with your present moment. If you believe in manifestation, that is literally what it is. Where the present moment does not bother you. Maybe the lack of money, the lack of love in your life does not bother you to an extent, because you know in the future, because you are taking action and because you choose to be in the right headspace, you will get what you desire. And coping with the present moment by thinking about the future, thinking how it's going to be La La Land, peaches and Creamville, that's not what manifestation is. That won't get you to where you want to go. But that's if you believe in manifestation. Me personally, I do. I do for sure. But that's what I gotta say. I'm no different than you guys. I still hear the negative thoughts. It's just, we just gotta learn to detach from them, to not let it hold us down, like the dog analogy. So if If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that. Thank you for listening.